Okay, namaste. This is my message for the new moon in Sagittarius. Today, 1 hour from now exact, 7 degrees in Sagittarius. I've just started my new book, diary, and I've written so many diaries already. This is about 100th one. But that doesn't make any difference. Each day is new, and we have on a new moon a new possibility to start again, reflecting on what are our true values that we want to live by. As the moon is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is a sign of the higher vision, the higher consciousness that we all can embrace now that we are able to really go inside winter time and reflect on what's really becoming more and more clear to each one of us in our own special way. Individual consciousness is always in line with collective consciousness, as we are all part of the whole. So astrology is always reflecting the signs of the times. And I've been able to study this great science for more than, I think, 30 years now. And it reveals to me so many things. When the sun and the moon are both in this sign of Aquarius in the 9th house, when we look at the standard universal time, Greenwich Meridian time, it's also in the field of higher consciousness, the higher search for meaning in our life. When we also see that this sun, moon in Sagittarius is in a square aspect with Neptune, which is the sign of surrender, of belief, of faith in the unseeable, in the world behind the veil of our 3D reality, then this is our chance to really, break through that barrier of the veil, because really, as above, so below, it tells us it's one. We don't have to live in a duality anymore, thinking that up above are the ones that know the truth and know how to live in alignment with nature and in alignment with our fellow human beings, recognizing our own individual unique paths, but still wanting to be of use or wanting to be aligned with the people that are close to us. So that's a sort of a challenge, to really break through that veil of illusion, that's outside of us, it's inside of us. It's only a question of really getting in touch with your true self, your true feelings, your true thoughts, that we can create our new reality when we want. And by creating, by taking active part, we can also take part in this co-creation of a new earth that we as light workers really want to help bring about. That's what we're here for. That's what I came for in this incarnation. I incarnated in 1948, just after the Second World War. It's also the year that the Israel state was established. It's something that I reflect on a lot these days, because really what happens in a grand scale, in higher consciousness, by sending all these people that we couldn't accept or integrate in our own communities because they were sent to, concentration camps, work labor camps. We've done most horrific things to the Jews in the Second World War, because it's not anymore of the 5D reality to point all this and blame all this on one people or one leader or one, culture, one religion. It's the consciousness of humankind that has allowed these world wars, second and first, and all the wars that came after. There's been so many wars still being fought after the Second World War that we cannot say that we live in peace. Why do we have so many wars? Why do we have so many armies? Why do we have so much hate and greed and jealousy? So this is all question of really recognizing our shadow part inside of us. So what is happening in this new moon? With the possibility of really looking at where we're headed as a world community, we look at the North Node. The North Node is in Virgo, in the seventh house. Seventh house is the house of partner relationships, your own relationship with the relevant others in your life. That can be your husband or your wife, but it can also be your children and the neighbor or your best friend. It's a one-to-one relation. Because in a one-to-one relation, we really have to go deep. And it's often something that we seek in the other that we have not yet embraced in ourselves. So when I look also at the North Node, or actually the sign that the sun and the moon are in today, which is the 7th degree of Sagittarius, and I look at this book, it's a beautiful book of Dane Rudyard. It's a gift that I've been given by a friend, 20 years back or so. It's really beautiful because on the 7th degree of Sagittarius, it's the Cupido that knocks on the door of the heart. Well, isn't that a beautiful symbol for this new moon? And the tone below that is to really opwekken. What is opwekken in English? I'm Dutch, so I cannot always find the right words in English. Forgive me, please. But it's desire for romantic love, Cupido. It's really the desire to really feel connected with one relevant other. Many people stay connected with their relevant partners all their lives, more or less in deeper degrees. I haven't, because I've been changing all the time, because I'm really open to any change in my personal life. So I've not been married so far. I've really sought to live in the here and now, which is the 4th dimension. It's just what happens here and now. It reflects everything that you need to evolve. And so right now my first relevant other is my beloved Joe, and we've been in a very loving relation, very deep connection, soul connection, twin soul connection, for more than 3 years now. And it's been romantic. It's really been very romantic because we really fell in love deeply. But also, we have both our mission in life. And And that also connects us on a very deep level, because being in the world, part of the world, and really wanting to contribute to change, so that more people can enjoy life like we are in the Western world, with all the luxury that we have accomplished, or think we earned. Because I really don't think anything belongs to me. I mean, all this, I have this rental home, and it's just been given to me, and it's not mine. I just paid rent if I can. But it's really very, very beautiful to look at it from a higher point of view, to how do we relate to our world. Do we really want to keep all to ourselves, or do we really want to share? It's important question. What value do you regard as highest? Is it important for you to share what you have, your talents, your feelings, your thoughts, your beauty, your body, your food, your house? We can share everything. And well, I think it's a very important value in these days, especially because we've all been now given this opportunity to connect with each other through the internet. Like, I can just stay at home and I talk to you from my own place and my own consciousness. And that's what everybody can do. But we're all not all as open, of course, to this kind of connection. We're not all light workers. Many people think that we are all light workers, but that's not true. The light worker heart or soul is really here to share and care for the higher good of all. So that's why I've been active on all kinds of social platforms: Facebook, Google, YouTube, Twitter, 4 blogs since 7 years now, and 8 years. And I love it, because it's such a joy to be able to share. And it gives me such bliss to really meet people of all kinds of cultures and status and understanding. Because, well, of course, you can share, but it's also important if the other can understand what you try to share. That's the main challenge. But when I want to share this new moon's chart, what I have seen in it, it's really our challenge, all of us, to relate in such a way that we can really make ourselves understood, but also try to understand what the world needs of us right now. And Sagittarius is a sign that really asks of us to be truthful, to really speak of our own truth. And that's not always easy because, well, a lot of people rely on what's being told by the outside world. They read the news, they watch the news on television, they read all kinds of books that are important influences on our lives. But it's also important to really look inside. What is your truth? And my truth at this moment that I want to convey to you is that really romantic love is important, so far that we can feel the depth of our emotions when we're really falling in love, but also the challenges that every relation gives us. It gives us a deeper meaning in life, that we really can relate yeah, in a special way to someone else, and open our heart, open our feelings, be open about our feelings, learn not to be afraid, because we learn to love each other as we are. So in that kind of relation, we can say anything or feel anything, because we know in love that will be accepted. So this is why I think this is a beautiful new moon. And then also looking at my own chart, I have noticed some things that I want to also share with you, because, well, this new moon and sun is also in my ninth house, where I really put a lot of energy and love in, because it's the house where my Venus conjunct Chiron is also placed. And Venus is the planet of love. We really love to, where Venus is in your birth chart is where you put a lot of loving energy in. And when it's in the ninth house, as it is in my case, in my birth chart, it's in the higher vision. I really always look for the higher vision. It's not so important that I am in a physical contact with somebody, as long as the heart is open and the mind is open. That's also very important to me, when we can really accept each other, also when, there's a whole lot of difference in perspective. My beloved Joe is in the army. So it's a very different perspective from mine. I mean, I've never had anything with army, not in my family, not in my friend circle. So that's, for me, is a whole new perspective, and it takes time also to really, get into that, understand what kind of life people live in the army. And so that has been quite a journey. And it's great journey, because I like to look at life from different perspectives. I've been traveling a lot and I've been studying a lot, but through the personal connections we learn most, in my experience, because we really, when we love someone, we really want to understand them. And so we try to really put ourselves in their position and look at what we can add to their joy and their, you know, uh, peace and really feeling of security. So may I express this as my message. It's from Darpa, and it's such a beautiful message. It's a blessing, really. And here it comes.
We call upon the celestial realms, the angelic beings, the planetary guides and protectors, and the ascended ones, to bless mankind and to be present here with us. We call upon the divine light of love, truth, and harmony to shine in the places that need healing and to guide our way. We ask for these blessings with great reverence from our Mother, the Earth, from the sky, the moon, the stars, and the sun, our Father. May we always remember that we are pure consciousness, the essence of life and the source of all things. May we find the courage to let go of fear and the pain of past conditioning. And let us walk upon the earth gently, as true spiritual warriors, interdimensional midwives giving birth to our true self. Letting go of separation, evolving beyond limitation into divine self-expression, thereby assisting in the co-creation of a dawning, light-filled world. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Oh, isn't that beautiful? That's it. Namaste.